After a grueling week at their day jobs and feeling in a daze, Chris and Vince get together to discuss the news they've come across during the week that they think you will want to know. Welcome to episode 4 of WeekDazed. All right, here we are. I'm Vince. I'm joined as always by Chris Herndon.
How's it going?
We're going to get to some news stories today that we think you might be interested in. We're not very interested in them ourselves so far, but we hope you will be.
I'm just kind of dazed.
In a daze. This is truly a week dazed. A lot of times we record this on a Wednesday or Thursday, but it is Friday, so we are at maximum burn right now. But I am looking forward to some other activities we're going to do later. We're going to see the movie Machete Kills.
Kills, yeah.
And
hopefully he will kill.
I think there's going to be a lot, actually.
Well, a lot of literal killing in the film, and hopefully killing at the box office as well.
I'm sure he will. And we're going to review that, I'm sure, as part of our official Don't Tell Me My Business podcast on Monday to be released on Tuesday. So you can wake up Tuesday morning and know that you have a nice, shiny, hot, wet review of Machete.
Hot and wet.
Hot and wet.
Good combination.
It always is. Hey, I heard you had a chili cook-off today.
Yeah, speaking of hot and wet, we had a little chili cook-off today at the office, and things didn't go so well for me. I didn't win. But
that's really surprising.
Yeah, I felt good about it, though.
You used Mama Herndon's recipe, didn't you?
Yeah, I used the mom's recipe as the as the base for it, and then I kind of kicked it up a few notches with some fresh peppers and whatnots. However, it just didn't. I don't know, it didn't catch on. I used the noodles, and sometimes people don't like the noodles. I think that might have gotten me.
Yeah. What about? Are you a bean man? Is it a bean? Is there a bean in there?
It's a bean. I had a couple different types of beans in there, and I had some beef, some good ground chuck.
Is this like Canadian style? Is that what they call that style? I don't know what that style is. I know there's Texas style, and I don't know,
man. I call it home style because that's the way it was when I grew up.
I hear you, man. That's
you've enjoyed
Mama
Herndon's chili over the years.
Getting back to our roots. Now, what kind of who won that?
That was Mr. Dan Linker. He had a very good pot of chili, I have to say.
We used to work with Dan previously, huh?
No, we didn't work with Dan, did we?
There was a Linker. Oh, it was Matt Linker.
Yeah, different Linker.
Are they related?
I don't. Not to my knowledge, but we might have to research that. But he made a fine pot of chili. Your classic beer chili.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Very tasty. It used a good cut of meat. Some sirloin, some actual like cut cubed sirloin, and it was good. And in my voting, I had him well towards the top as well, but it just didn't work out for me.
Was it spicy? Because I like a spicy.
Mine was spicier of those. There were a couple spicy ones, but I thought mine was pretty spicy. What got me on the spice, though, and this is for chili cook-off. Competitors out there everywhere. You need to cook towards the competition a little bit more than I did. Now, what I mean by that is I had a pretty good spice in my chili. However, my chili's the kind of chili that as you eat, it kind of builds. The heat builds, right? We only had a little shot glass of chili for the tasting, so there wasn't enough to really build up a lot of heat. But
if the contest had gone over maybe 2 or 3 days. I think you would definitely have come out on top after that slow burn.
Oh, yeah, because it basically works its way through your system as well. We probably should have people vote, well, maybe not, but maybe vote a few days later because it just kind of burns through the colon,
A nice colon burn.
Yeah, a nice slow chili burn.
Nice,
the whole length of your body.
So we're pretty much expecting on Monday several people to come up to you and say, you know what, after a second go, your chili, is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm expecting, rave reviews like later. It's kind of more of a cult classic type of thing. Didn't really hit it right off the bat, with the major box office. But after a little time to think about it, it gets following.
You might want to take some of our Smitzer samples that we get from our sponsor on Monday. It would probably be a nice gesture.
I think it would. Yeah, I think it would be very helpful to very many people.
Yeah, some of the balms.
Yeah, any balm really. That whole area down there where the balms are used,
yes,
it's going to probably need attention.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we got some big news stories today.
We better cover them.
We better get to it. This just in. Actually, it came in earlier. But voters prefer hemorrhoids over Congress. Have you heard this, Vince?
No, I haven't heard that yet.
The public polling, a Democratic-leaning firm based in North Carolina, asked a series of questions trying to gauge support for Congress compared with government-run institutions such as the IRS, health problems such as toenail fungus, cockroaches, and dog poop. And, apparently Congress didn't do so well, especially when you think that something like toenail fungus, I've never voted for toenail fungus. I don't know if...
that's kind of some tough choices there.
Yeah,
I mean between all of those, do we have results on what came out on top in that list?
There probably are results out there somewhere.
Yeah. I'm guessing that Congress came out on bottom, though. I did see another thing where Nickelback is actually more popular than Congress is right now.
Really?
Yes.
Are they more popular than hemorrhoids?
Is Nickelback more popular than hemorrhoids? That's a great question.
Let me look that up.
I think we're going to have to do some independent polling and find out if that's true. My inkling is that it would be close.
Yeah.
Maybe not beating out toenail fungus. I think toenail fungus and dog poop may come out ahead of both. But I think
dog poop's definitely ahead of Congress and Nickelback and probably hemorrhoids. Don't you think?
I don't know.
It can be a fertilizing agent.
True. And it's produced by one of our best friends in the animal world, the dog.
Yep, definitely heard it called man's best friend before.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. I have to wonder what dogs think about what we do with their poop. They see us many times collected away from for later. So you have to wonder, are these guys collecting this stuff? Is there a stockpile somewhere? And they're kind of looking at you, maybe in approval. That's maybe why dogs shit in the house sometime, is they think, hey, man, I'm just going to add to their collection.
That's a very good point. Thankfully, my dog likes to do it outside, so that works out well. But I don't know. I think of dog poop. I'm thinking just different types of poops and craps and shits and manures. People use that. That's not completely
very useful.
Aren't there civilizations out there that put their brick their houses together with like dog poop?
Current civilizations? Are there current people doing this?
Yeah, I would think there's probably some current people doing it. Out of necessity, you use what you have available.
Is that what houses? When they refer to the a shit brick house? Is it brick shit house or shit brick house?
Either way, it would work.
I guess that's what they're referring to.
Yeah, you can use shit bricks.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I shit bricks all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
okay, let's get on to the next story. Boston Dynamics Wildcat robot can gallop up to 16 miles per hour. That's pretty speedy. This comes from Geek.com. Last month, Boston Dynamics was asked by DARPA to turn their LS-3 robot into a silent, bulletproof unit. But that isn't the only robot Boston is working on right now, as they also have an all-terrain running robot called the Wildcat. I'm surprised they didn't call it the T1 at this point. Aren't we kind of getting to that point now that we have robots that can run at 16 miles per hour? That's pretty much over what Usain Bolt can run, I believe, right?
Yeah. Are we going to have the Robot Olympics coming up soon, or are we going to have to change all the world records? How's that going to work?
Yeah, and how we had the guy that was qualified for the last Olympics. He could use prosthetics. So I guess
cheater.
Yeah, and but you have to wonder, does that mean possibly androids are next? So we have a combination of these fast running robots and human beings.
It could be like Real Steel they did for boxing.
Mm-hmm.
This Wildcat robot could do for running.
Now imagine
track and field.
Track and field.
Yeah, either one, track or field. track and or field.
Well, I'm not sure if it's built for field usage. Well, okay, let's see, maybe. Now imagine this speeding across a hostile area carrying supplies on its back for the troops. It's like something you'd expect to see in the movies, like the Terminator. Not in real life, but Boston Dynamics is clearly doing everything it can to push robot technology forward. So, yeah, you can now imagine this robot chasing down anti-robot rebel forces in the near future. The Wildcat is still a work in progress and also funded by DARPA through the M3 program. So there's every chance it will end up getting faster and more stable. Oh, that's perfect. It already looks pretty capable, but I'd like to see it galloping across uneven ground to get to a sense of how it really performs. Yeah, like running track and field. I think the Olympics would probably be a good trial for this.
Yeah, well, they have Olympic trials,
So yeah, add some of this robot in there. And just like the LS3, it needs a better power solution that isn't as noisy. Yeah, because we really want stealth in these robots that are going to be tracking.
Let's go ahead. Here's a thought: before these things become sentient beings, let's not just outfit them with everything that it's going to take to take us down.
Right.
We're going to make them faster, stronger, silent. I mean, they're basically setting them up for our own demise.
Yeah, robot ninjas is what we're creating at this point. Come on, scientists.
Well, I would like to just to point out that this is being funded through the DARPA M3 program. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you, but the M3 program is my favorite DARPA program.
I always preferred the M2.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I always thought it was a little classier.
I can see that.
But the M3 is nice. The M3 is nice.
Yeah, I mean, they've come a long way since the M1 program.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about the M1.
Yeah, and don't even get started on the L. I mean, sorry. But yeah, that's pretty wild. Let's go ahead and outfit these robots to take us down. Here's an interesting story. I don't know if you're well versed in the ways of the law, Vince, but apparently you can be declared to your face legally dead by a judge. Have you ever heard this before? In Findlay, Ohio, a man disappeared decades ago is now finding out that there's no easy way to come back from the dead, which, I mean, zombieism seems not to be that difficult for the user to do.
Right, I've seen it plenty of times.
Yeah, but whatever. Apparently this guy, they don't say he's a zombie, but I mean, that might explain some of the story. But Donald Miller Jr. went to court this week to ask a county judge to reverse a 1994 ruling that declared him legally dead after he vanished from his home 8 years earlier. But the judge turned down this request, so citing a 3-year time limit for changing a death ruling.
So there's just a limit. So after 3 years, regardless of your current status, you're a dead man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that bodes well for for those of us who are worried about when I die, am I really going to be dead? Are they going to bury me and I'm really alive, and they just don't know that I'm alive?
So just kind of wait 3 years.
You got 3 years.
That 3-year period. Yeah.
So I might write that into my living will, actually.
Yeah. Just wait 3 years.
Yeah.
And after that, it doesn't matter if I'm still alive or not. I'm considered dead. So even if I'm kicking and screaming, go ahead and bury me.
Right at that point, legally. I mean, I like to follow the law. You know me.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, what are you going to do? But yeah, this guy apparently ducked out on his wife, and apparently lost his job. I think the story was that he had like child support payments or something that he was in arrears on, and he just vanished. And now he's screwed. I don't really know what he does now. I don't know if he's forced to.
Oh, he lays around a lot. Doesn't do a whole lot. He just kind of lays there. Most of the day, I would say. Are we sure he's not dead? Because from what I understand, he's not doing a whole lot. Did he actually say anything, or did somebody wheel him in and say, well, this guy is clearly alive, laying right there?
Yeah, I don't know if Mr. Miller. I don't know what the if there was any kind of physical examination that occurred.
Right. I mean, was there? Maybe that's the whole thing. He should have maybe gotten a doctor involved.
A doctor's note might have gone a long way with this. Certifying that this man was alive when I examined him, says the doctor. Right, and maybe maybe that's all it took. I
Might have had a little weight with the judge. I don't know.
Well, it depends. I mean, then you get in that whole, there'd be a lot of cross-examination. Is this guy an expert? And whether the guy's alive or not, or I don't know. It seems like you might need some pretty extensive training to be able to determine that, legally.
Well, yeah, I would say at least.
I mean,
at least your five senses are, or